and welcome to Goodwood SpeedWeek presented by Mastercard, coming to you from Goodwood.
The Gerry Marshall Trophy presented by Shaw. Yes, this really is a trip down memory lane, isn't it? This is Orlando Lindsay and Sam Hancock. Replay here of, whoops, the Chevrolet Jack Tetley. Davis's Mustang goes top then, the car shared by Jason Plato. Gone fastest, then the car off the road with smoke coming from the back of it, I'm afraid to say. 2 red flags in this session. St Mary's Trophy, Part 1. Rowan Atkinson in the Duncan Pittaway owned Plymouth Barracuda. Tom Christensen, though, we can concentrate on for the moment. 4th fastest. Again, slippery surface flag out is there. Now, is that because a bit of debris has dropped onto the road, or is it because there's a bit of liquid? Either way. Sam Tornoff then should start near the front of the grid. Steve Blomqvist then, the 1984 World Rally Champion, showing all these circuit races how it should be done.
To commemorate the 80th anniversary and Goodwood's role in the Battle of Britain, I had the honour of taking to the skies for a reenactment of a dogfight.
That was awesome, awesome. It was awe-inspiring as well.
Well done.
I know. Sick bag still in the bucket.
I think bag number 2 is.
So another great mix of cars. This is going to be a 1 lap of the circuit for the shootout, a sprint, effectively.
Now this is going to be the hardest corner in all of these quick modern cars. No name, a delicate, gentle, but mighty quick right-hander. And just as you exit, you've got to switch directions. The car unloads, unweights, got to kill the speed through St Mary's.
Ready to go is Lucas Halusa. Now this is a car that has huge significance for British fans. That's Tom Christensen. We do get a time for him, 1:22.592. Our first race. This is the SF Edge Trophy. The flag drops, away they go, but a bad start made by the pole position driver. You get the feeling that the car drives you rather than you drive the car out of all of this. So lap 1 of 5 in the book. Ben Collins leading at the end of it by 1.8 seconds. Look at that, the Darragh, as it comes across the line there, number 200. He is sitting on the car. There's barely any bodywork around him at all. Look at the Darragh. Starts to close. Can he get there in time? It's going to be an almost photo finish, but it's Ben Collins just ahead. The Escort is good to go. There's the donut, so round it goes Jason Leckley, beautifully controlled. So there you have the short quattro. Round the donut and away onto the perimeter roads once again now. Reece Yates is going to make it 5 stage wins out of 5 because he does a 1:28.4.
Let's go.
And straight to the right, Okay, through these bales. I'm literally looking at the first corner.
Okay, I've found the boys down here in the paddock area, and damn it, you're looking a little pale.
Oh man. Well, I don't know if it's my own ineptitude or how good his driving was, because I had no. After the first left, this essentially just came like a Google map, and I was like, where are we going? And I just gave up then. About 3/4 of the way through, he said, where are we going now? And I've got to be honest, I don't know.
So the 911, the road going 911 will go first, then the Cayman. Then the 911 GT3 Cup. Remember, they started 4 seconds, then 7 seconds apart, and it's going to be a drag race out of the chicane up towards the line. Can Ben McLaughlin hang on in there? Harry King comes up to have a go on the outside of the Cayman. They're going to be 3 wide as they cross the line, but Harry King just gets ahead of the Cayman, which in turn gets ahead of the 911. Looking forward to this Goodwood trophy. David Morris, Nick Topless, Tom Dahl on the front row.
I think Topless got a little bit loose with an inside front tyre on the grass as we see a big tank slapper there for Ian Baxter, getting it all wrong out of Matchwick.
David Morris driving off into the distance. He's 3 seconds clear now. This battle is going on for second place. Into the chicane they come, nose to tail. David Morris has just done the fastest lap of the race. He's not giving up, is he? David Morris goes through, and Mark Gill is almost Pearson-esque. Julian Wilton comes through the chicane. David Morris, who accelerates over the line to win the Goodwood Trophy, presented by the Goodwood Supporters Association.
David Morris, goodness me, that was a spectacular race. Congratulations on the win. What was that like from your perspective?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I could see Mark creeping up on me, and then of course he snuck by, as he tends to do, but I think he'd probably had the edge on me just at the end there, and unfortunately I've got a lap to go. He had some problems and that was it, so I got the win luckily.
We're here now with the Michelin Supercar run, and there we have the McLaren Senna lightning up off the start line.
Lamborghinis and rear-wheel drive, my goodness.
The Mustang Mach-1 making it over to these shores. And here we have the absolutely bonkers Mustang, fully electric, 1400 horsepower, I believe, on this car.
Listen to that. I mean, that probably sounds like something out of the future, doesn't it? Kind of whirring its way around the track.
So the Glover Trophy qualifying. Ooh, that was a bit bold. On the inside was that John Milicevic trying to get himself up past Andrew Beaumont, I think it was. Richard Wilson running out of road at Lavant. There you see the Credit Cooper totally running out of road. Somebody else trying to camouflage there. Green colours on the grass. Is the man of the session. So Mike O'Brien doesn't do that much racing these days. Remarkable effort that. Great stuff. Porsche at Le Mans demonstration. Looking there at the Rothmans 956, and there the 935, the huge rear wing on the back.
So Jackie, can I have a very quick word, because you're driving a very special car this afternoon, aren't you? Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, Stirling Moss is probably one of the greatest drivers that's ever been, and this is the car that he won the Monaco Grand Prix with, against the works Ferraris when they were certainly supposed to be the best. But Stirling, as usual, drove it in a manner that the Ferraris couldn't keep up. And it's a great piece of history, a great piece of Colin Chapman's creation, and the fact that Stirling's driven it, for me it's always a thrill, because I got Stirling Moss's autograph when I was 14 years of age here at Goodwood.
So the car's being released in a moment from the assembly area, ready for our Formula 1 demonstration. Yes, a modern day Formula 1 car is dramatic, it's fast, but is that as aesthetically pleasing a shape as a 1980s car? And people that were there in the 80s will probably say, well, yeah, but a Williams then wasn't as nice as a Lotus 72.
But Emo there leading that string of Lotuses in the car that he won his first Grand Prix in.
How cool is it? Middle of October, Emerson Fittipaldi rocks up at Goodwood. Welcome to the SpeedWeek Super Special here at Goodwood. Big lock up there, she scrabbles down towards the chicane. The ex-Bjorn Valdegaard car locks the rear squeal of tyres, gets that wrong as well. Reese Yates here, who has won every stage thus far, and this is going to be the man to beat that. The time to beat is a 23.2. He's going to do it again, surely. Yes, he is. 1 minute 20.9. I think he slowed a bit early there.
It's the Lotus EVIJA. This thing makes 1,900 brake horsepower from 4 individual electric motors. It will do 0 to 186 in under 9 seconds. It is bonkers fast, and it made its dynamic debut here at Goodwood SpeedWeek.
It's astonishingly quick and an amazing piece of technology, and I think it's great that a small British company is leading the charge in the EV hypercar revolution.
It is the Gerry Marshall Trophy. Demon start by Rick Wood in the blue and white Capri on the inside line.
And this is going to be really, really difficult as there's a car up in the background, David.
There is indeed. It's the Camaro of Tom Christensen and Jack Tatley.
Absolutely right. And we need you to be off on the outside there. Under pressure, maybe.
Now, as far as the lead is concerned, Mike Whittaker, with this very original ex-Gordon Spice Ford Capri, is being caught by Fred Shepherd. This is about to be a lead change, is it not? Mike Whittaker comes under attack from Fred Shepherd, and the Moss Mustang. It's an older car, but it's got a bigger engine. It's got lots of horses to unleash in a straight line. Through it goes, but Mike Whittaker will be very late on the brakes on the outside line. Can he stand his ground? Not quite. Great racing this between these two. Here out of the chicane, Jack Tatley's Chevrolet suddenly seemed to slow right down.
Are we going to see now the power of that car be able to drag it past him? Yes, simple as that.
Pirro is right up there with the second place Camaro now.
You wouldn't bet against it with the pace he's had in this second half of the race.
The flag might go early rather than do an extra lap. Let's see, it does. The checkered flag is out then, so an early checkered flag just because the light is going. As the winner arrives. Andre Lotterer and Fred Shepherd win the Gerry Marshall Trophy. Let's join Tom Clarkson.
Well, another win here at Goodwood.
Yeah.
How was that final stint?
Super nice. I mean, Fred did a fantastic job bringing the car in P1, so I just had to keep driving, so he did all the job, and I was out there having fun. Fantastic car, and yeah, a bit of a endurance feeling as well with getting darker, so no, I had a lot of fun, and yeah, awesome to have another Goodwood victory.
Right, so the cars make their way ready for this final stage of the SpeedWeek Super Special. It's going to be Max Girardo with the Lancia Stratos. Max Girardo goes through the flying finish at 1 minute 48.3 seconds. Beautifully done around the donut. Unless he gets the last corner all wrong, the stage win and the SpeedWeek Super Special win will go to Reese Yates, 128.2, fastest time on the stage. He's won every stage. He has been utterly dominant across the course.
Hey, and welcome to day 2 of SpeedWeek, presented by Mastercard, coming to you live from Goodwood, which is nestled just on the edge of the Sussex Downs.
Right, it's time for the St Mary's practice session. The Galaxy looked like the most unlikely race car because it was enormous, and yet it was the sort of car that Jack Sears took to the 1963 British Saloon Car Championship title, swatting aside all these pesky little minis as he went.
Oh, somebody just runs a little bit wide on, loses the back end.
It's Wesley Butcher.
Yeah. Pads, but then and you get that extra retardation. Oh, as he gets wrong. Oh no! Crash.
Oh, that's exactly what we were fearful of, I'm afraid to say. The car stranded on the outside of the road. That's Olivier Hart, isn't it? So, Sam, I know you'd rather be in one of these out on track, but even from this vantage point, what an entry. It was under braking. Whoops, big slide. Round it goes. James Cottingham is not quite going to save it, but that was a mighty slide. Thankfully, he avoided anything solid. What happened here? Too quick in?
Pretty good actually on the way in. Maybe just got a little wide on the exit. It put the right rear wheel perhaps, or the whole right hand side of the car beyond the exit curbing, and there's a little bit of a metal grid there as it goes into the grass, and I'd have thought that this morning that might be quite slippery.
Alex Brundle then topping the times in the Gary Pearson shared Jaguar E-Type.
What's up, guys? Time to play a little game. I know all petrol heads play this, but I'm back in the supercar paddock and I want to play it with myself today. dream garages, all right? I'm surrounded by a bunch of very exotic, expensive metal, and the aim is to choose my favorite cars that I would have in my ideal garage, and you got to have all bases covered. So let's start with a family car. Well, now I identified right here is a brand new Rolls-Royce Ghost, and I think this has got to be the one for me because you got to have room for everyone, right? Not only yourself, but your missus maybe, a couple of kids in the back, and you want to be able to ride around in absolute comfort. So is this open? Yeah, look at this, look at this. Just have a look inside. I mean, how lucky would the children be to ride around in that? In the middle of that, you got a champagne fridge, so if you and the missus want to go out on a little date night by yourself, then that's ideal. Curtains too, for extra privacy. So I'd have that. Let's check the price. Have a look. It's not going to be cheap, is it? £301,000, but that is definitely going in my garage. Right, that's the family car covered. Let's move along. Nice all-rounder, the 911 Turbo S, but I don't know. I've seen a lot of that. I need something a bit more sporty. Looking at the 765 LT, amazing car on the track. Not so sure about how ideal it would be as a daily. So let's move along to this Ferrari 812 GTS, based on the 812 Superfast. And what's really cool about this is that it's convertible, right? It's got a drop top, which means you can actually get the feeling of the open air rushing over you as you drive. And that's an essential component in my dream garage. You got to have a drop top in there, you know, just to show off, just to stunt. All right, let's look at this price tag. £356,000.
And we're going to go now to the fastest and the noisiest, because this is qualifying for the WHITSUN trophy.
Oh, heavens. Suddenly out of the traffic. Bodywork rips off as the car bounces off into the weeds.
It's not as rigid as a board as our commentator's curse there. Classic.
He's going to come up on traffic on this lap.
Track's nicely rubbered in after a full weekend of activity, so I'd be surprised if we get to that in this session.
The Richmond and Gordon trophies then for front and rear engine 2.5 litre Grand Prix cars that raced between 1954 and 1960. Look at that, wonderful elbow in the air. The other arm out the other side to say to the Lotus 16, you can go past me there, please.
Remember, this is the unique thing about Goodwood. This is one of the few circuits that remains pretty much unchanged since these kind of cars were racing here in period. So when we have the screen isolated with just the cars and the circuit in view, it's the same thing that they would have been looking at all those years ago.
We're in business then. Our Jaguar head-to-head challenge gets underway. Then it's going to be the drag race up towards the line. I think Karun Chandhok's going to get past, but Mitch Evans has caught them. So is this going to be 3 abreast? Let's see. Up to the outside of the XK120 comes Karun Chandhok. Mitch Evans lines up as well. They've all managed to get together. It will, of course, prove which is the quicker car, but a virtual photo finish. The cars now get set for the BMW Motorsport demonstration. There you've got the so-called Batmobile, the 3-litre CSL, Mick Mullen's car. There, the 1999 Le Mans winning BMW. Pedro Piquet with his dad's crash helmet there. How about that beautifully restored car, or maintained car, from the BMW Museum. Cars out on track for the RAC TT celebration. Replay here at number 4 E-Type getting so sideways. That's the Gary Pearson but Alex Brundle driven.
Just take it a little bit easy on the car, a little bit easy on the brakes. That means braking a little earlier, a little softer, trailing the brake into the first part of St Mary's. That's where that car is going to need a lot of energetic steering input to keep it on the right trajectory. Nice and flat, nice and straight for braking at something like 150 metres. Fastest sector 2 overall for Lotterer, so he's on a fly, but he's caught traffic. Oh, what a shame! Into the chicane. What a shame!
Almost pushing the Wu 2 Nicolaus Ditting E-Type out of the way. The end of the session, and there's the Cobra showing how sideways it can get. Our first race of day 2. Drivers now look towards the flag, which will drop now. Race underway. Who makes the best start? Good getaway by John Milicevic, actually, from the outside of the front row. Michael O'Brien drops back into second place round the outside. Anthony Middlehurst is there in second position, but look at it, nose to tail for third as they wriggle through in the end of lap 1.
Very much horsepower, all of that lap time performance, and just getting tied up. Oh, squeezed into the braking zone, bit of a tank slapper, gathering it all up at first and then not at the end.
He goes to the inside line, he's got the room and he's got the line, and he goes through as Milicevic has to sort out a really vicious slide there. Is this going to be the opportunity for him? No, Andy Middlehurst knows exactly how to defend, and as long as that car has got pace, he's going to use every trick he can to hang on to position.
Huge advantage. Oh, he's right up there, again forcing Middlehurst into the defensive line, into the chicane. That will compromise his exit, but he has a slight power advantage, as we've seen on the previous laps.
But Michael O'Brien is clear in the race lead. Through the chicane, up towards the checkered flag, and a race win will come. Michael O'Brien lifts off, celebrates the race win, and he'll be delighted with that, no question.
This is Damon Hill with his father's car, Graham Hill's 1964 BRM at Goodwood. Damon, you're about to drive your father's car. I just heard the mechanics running through some of the details. What's it like?
Well, doesn't it look beautiful? I mean, it absolutely looks gorgeous. And I think this is the car that my dad was teammates with Jackie Stewart at BRM. So my dad taught Jackie everything he knew.
Yes, well,
I think Jackie taught my dad a few things as well.
Oh, there's no question about that. And they were just asking about some of the demands that your father had with the gearbox and things. What were they talking about, the mechanics?
Yeah, they just told me that my dad insisted on having the gear change on the left-hand side. So that's how you have it on a right-hand drive car in England, isn't it?
We get set for our 70th anniversary Formula 1 demonstration. There, the Lotus 77, the Gunnar Nielsen car.
I'm amazed, David, at how beefy the 27W08 looks. Damon celebrates his father's achievements, and so it's wonderful to see him in the BRM. And then we're back with the Lotus 49 with its raised rear wing. And there is Sir Jackie.
Our next activity on track is the Tom Walkinshaw Racing Jaguar era, the XJR9 designed by Tony Southgate. The Jaguars come under the chicane.
Dermot sat in the F-Type, who's about to be the first person to experience the Driftkhana course. I'm wondering how he's feeling. Dermot, you've been in a Spitfire.
I didn't sign up for this. I'm using the throttle and using the rear-wheel drive of this car to slide around the corner.
As you can see, our driver's down in the grid, ready to go. And first up is, of course, the mad monster himself, Steve Baggsy Biaggioni. And then into this, the final sensor pickup. Now, there are two sets of proximity sensors. The closer you are, the lights will go off. They won't go off. You can see the lights not flashing. Now, drivers have been told they can go around here as many times as they like to set the lights off, but obviously that will affect your overall time or not. Drift that wide, and there we go. Destroys the outside sensors. Does Manfred Stroll right now. Gets nice and close, gets the front one, but absolutely dialed with him on it. Oh, and he takes him out. Oh, Martin Richards now starts to make a mess of the circuit as he looks for the exit. Up next is James Dean in this 2008 BMW E92 Eurofighter. Opted to go for a different route round. So James Dean finishes up his run in spectacular fashion. What is going on inside the car? Martin Richards really working it. Oh, he throws in a 360. Martin Richards going for the complete show score there.
Field for the Whitsun Trophy, making their way up to the grid. When the flag falls, we go racing. Slow start by Sinclair from the middle of the front row. Lots of tyre smoke from John Spears, who leaves 11s on the line. But round the outside, great recovery by John Spears in the McLaren. He goes ahead of the Lola as they round Matchwick Corner for the first time. Oops, and there's a spin from the leader. It was a spinning qualifying for Thurston, but the leader spins. John Spears off the road. There is a big slide from Sinclair that's going to put him off his stride. Shedden into the back of it. They do touch, and he's done a puncture. The Lola looks as though it may have just gone low on one side. It's off the road, certainly. And drama here in replay. Coming down towards Woodcote Corner, that is Justin Mears.
Lost the back end, looped it around, no harm done. And a hell of a recovery, actually, to get back up to 10th already. He's not afraid to put two wheels on the grass to pull off a move, and very good at it, he is too.
It is going to be a Whitsun Trophy win for Mike Whittaker, but Gordon Shedden has driven the wheels off that GT40 behind the car owned by Philip Walker up to the checkered flag then. The Whitsun Trophy won by Mike Whittaker. Gordon Shedden takes second. The shootout is just about ready to go. Ollie Bryant blasts away.
Amazing car, amazing sight and sound as he lights up the rear end.
And the BMW here, Pat Blakeney-Edwards, looks great, very spectacular. The Ford Mach-E. Big lose for Gavin Kershaw. Has he hung on to it? He has. That is the save of the day.
And now coming through the chicane, he did a fastest overall third sector.
Harry King, he's never raced here. He's only done a few laps on Thursday, and now these shootout laps. But the commitment, Sam, is absolutely 100%.
Well, positively drifting out of Ford water there. A little ride of the inside curve into St Mary's.
It is effectively a qualifying lap, if you like. The fastest you can go around the circuit. Away blasts the ex-Derek Warwick Arrows and accelerates now up through the gears. Away blasts the Arrows again. Period Formula One car. Brilliant noise. Now let's see whether this can go faster than a 1:17.961.
Well, this is the one I've been waiting for. I was absolutely heartbroken to see the car stricken and not participate yesterday. They had fuel vaporization issues and Padster is fully committed. I didn't hear a lift there, did you, David, on the way down through Ford water? Rarely have I been quite so jealous of a colleague. This is fantastic stuff. I love the livery on this car. I love this era of Formula One car. The proportions just work. The wide tyres, the wide track, the clean, minimalist aero, no flick-ups. The car's ever so pretty, and this is one of the most memorable with its livery and body shape. Padster absolutely wringing its neck on the run down to Goodwood.
We did the absolute best of anybody thus far in the first sector. Let's see what the lap time is going to be. We'll get the time at the end of the run then. So Nick Padmore twitches the car through Woodcote up towards the chicane. A 1:17.961 is the time to beat, and up towards the line he comes. The lap time, the run we'll get in a moment, but it is the fastest. A 1:09.914. 8 seconds quicker than anybody else.
Wow.
That is insane. The fastest ever lap of anything around Goodwood with an official clock on it, 69.9 seconds. Nick Padmore has obliterated his own lap record and then some. The St Mary's Trophy, Part 1, 20-minute race. Flag falls, away they go, lots of wheel spin. They go into Madgwick for the first time. Andrew Jordan's up to third at the expense of Nicola Manassi on Mark Blundell there, going around the outside. Number 27 getting all sideways as Cortinas are what to do.
Them two Cortinas are really sort of bunching each other up a bit more now, so the minis are coming into play, and Shedden coming along in the Jason Stanley car as well after it.
Change for the lead is imminent. Look, Tordoff manages to find Akers up the inside, so his Galaxy takes over the lead. Sam Tordoff
really getting a bit between his teeth now.
And so is Stig Blomqvist. He's back up the inside of Sam Tordoff, goes for the race lead. Sam puts 2 wheels on the grass, and Stig Blomqvist retakes the lead. Lap 6 in this 20-minute race. Mark Blundell right onto the back of Jordan.
Yeah, oh.
Yeah. And that's Turkington. That was wide. Coming out of LAVANT, a sideways Stig. And that just gifted it to him on the inside, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, that was I bet he didn't imagine that was going to happen that easy.
Sam Tordoff with a big slide. It's not looking good for him.
No, it's not looking good, actually. No, he should pull over and that's it. We're done. That's it.
Yeah, it's got all smoky, and quite rightly, Sam Tordoff is going to park the car. Right, so Stig Blomqvist is back into the lead. Finally, by default, Andrew Jordan's up into 3rd place.
Yeah, he's got his podium. There we are.
Into the chicane they come. It's going to be a Blomqvist victory, barring any dramas here. But the 3 leaders together, and here comes Manassi on pulls up to have a look on the inside up to the line. But out goes the checkered flag for Stig Blomqvist to win Part 1 of the St Mary's Trophy.
Driftkhana here at Goodwood SpeedWeek 2020. Vaughan Gittin Jr. throwing in a 360. Oh, and he doesn't pull it off. Cloud of smoke. Vaughan Gittin Jr. barely viewable on the screen. Richard's big handbrake drag there. Very deep into those proximities, as you see the back bumper all the way along the wall. You can see him on the foot brake, smoke in the tyres on the back of the GTR, flames popping from the front bumper. Makes it big flick through, and he's in one on the handbrake there, just disengaging that rear differential, lighting up all four wheels as Yates brings it across the line. Nicely done from Rhys Yates. It's super wide, takes out the barriers, does Jules Barkley. Squirrels his way through. Dean gets himself into the wall ride. He timed this and got this absolutely perfect, and he does once again. Onto the foot brake goes Dean. He looks for the exit. Dean hammers down across the start line, and finish line he goes.
Now, I have to say, I'm very lucky right now to be joined in the studio by two very special guests. It's none other than the Duke of Richmond and Rowan Atkinson, CBE. Hello, welcome. Great to have you both here. Now, I know it's been a jam-packed day already. Your Grace, how's it been for you today?
Good. No, it's been an excellent second day. Second day has always been a bit of a relief after the first, so I think it's gone really well. We've seen some great racing, and it's been a fabulous day. The weather's held together. We're very happy about it.
That's all you can ask for, really, isn't it? We've had
Absolutely.
some great weather, and that was handy for you, Rowan, because you've just joined us fresh from the St Mary's Trophy.
Yes.
How was that?
It was great, yes. I mean, I was, pootling along towards the back and quite enjoying myself. It was very, very good, actually. Great car, this amazing sky blue Plymouth Barracuda with a 5.4 litre V8, a classic sort of V8 pony car, would it be? Yeah.
There it is.
Two-door American thing, and I love the colour. I like the whole thing about it. It's a really sweet, good-natured car. Slightly heavy, but that's fine. The good thing about a heavy car is that it's slightly more predictable. So I know it was a great racing companion.
Our Michelin Supercar run, and at first glance,
The McLaren GT3.
This is a McLaren P1, but P1 GTR, Ford Mustang Mach-E, 1400.
Yeah, 1400 brake horsepower, isn't it?
a quick look at a Gen 2 Formula E car. This the Team Envision Virgin car. Karin Chandhok at the wheel of it.
In April this year, motor racing lost one of its most legendary and iconic figures, Sir Stirling Moss. So this weekend at SpeedWeek, Goodwood pays tribute to a true hero of the sport.
Stirling, Crawford, Moss. To the world at large, he was simply Stirling, or Mr. Motor Racing. To us, he will forever be Mr. Goodwood. We miss you, Stirling, and we will remember you. We will remember you always.
The final race of day 2 of the Goodwood SpeedWeek. Stirling Moss Memorial Trophy is go. The flag falls as they dive down towards Madrick for the first time. It is going to be Gary Pearson that leads the way on board with Mark Gordon. So Gary Pearson it is then who leads the way with Harvey Stanley. Still got the pace to stay on the tail and then dive to the outside of Gary Pearson. Wasn't really the room on the outside line. That would have been a brave effort. The Lotus in lead. Gary goes to the inside, hits the Lotus and hits the Ferrari. Oh, big damage to the E-Type. That fires David Clark off the road. Green flag waved. We are back racing then. Third place then, number 1, which is now Marino Franchitti. James sits patiently, gets the thumbs up. He's down to half a second. Another back marker. They've got the traffic and they've got the fading light to contend with as around Madrick they go. So Rob Huff, knowing that he's running out of time in the race. Rob dives up the inside. Cottingham has got through. Huff gets through as well. It's going to be a drag to the line, but James Cottingham has just done enough, has he? Yes, he has. It is going to be a Stirling Moss Memorial Trophy win for James Cottingham and Harvey Stanley ahead of Rob Huff and Richard Mines. What a battle.
And welcome to the third and final day of SpeedWeek presented by Mastercard. We are live from a very well-behaved wood, that is Goodwood. And much like the cars, the weekend has flown by.
Out they pour then for this 20-minute race for sports cars and production sports racing cars of a type, as you've heard, that race between 1952 and 1960. Jaguar Jaguar, Ron Flockhart and John Lawrence raced this car at Le Mans. Balancing the power against handling on the tail now of Katerina Kivlova. Cooper Jaguar T33, a car that was once upon a time owned by Bernie Ecclestone. Number 6, though, James Cottingham, trying to find effectively 0.8 of a second to go onto pole position. He's done an absolute best. So James all fired up after his very impressive race win last night in the Stirling Moss Memorial Trophy. Comes then down now to Woodcote. Minutes then for the Richmond and Gordon trophies. The flag will fall now. Great start by Miles Griffiths, who absolutely rockets away like a robber's dog. Brilliant start. Well, he's about 2 lengths up already as they dive down towards Matchwick for the first time. That was an absolutely perfect start.
Oh, well, one of them just gone onto the grass, but otherwise a clean start.
So the front engine Lotus 16 versus the rear engine Cooper. Here comes Will Nuttall, then a good exit from Lavant. He's going to be up alongside, so they can run together quite nicely. Change for the race lead at the end of lap 1. Will Nuttall goes through.
Ooh. There we go.
That is Tim Bailey, isn't it?
JW Maserati.
Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That is not a happy sight, I'm afraid. With the wheel off, this could well be a safety car, couldn't it, now,
yeah,
to
absolutely.
retrieve things. That's Nick Adams. The Ferguson has now no wheel drive, in a sense, because it has stopped. So, right on the edge of the road, Nick Adams. So this will be the last lap. And the Richmond and Gordon trophies are going to be won then by Will Nuttall after a great drive. Comes across the line ahead of Miles Griffiths.
So we're at Goodwood Estate. We've got an amazing off-road course here. And behind us is probably the most anticipated car of 2020. The brand new Land Rover Defender. So we're going to do some off-roading. Is now a good time to tell you I'm a really bad passenger as well?
Really bad.
So we've got some markers out there, and that's going to help you with your overall time. Hit one marker, take away 2 seconds. So hit as many markers as you can see. They're the big red poles, you won't miss them.
Okay, markers, not the pheasants.
Okay, so straight over the middle, you've got a marker in the middle. Fireworks! Okay, so we're going round the burn, you've got a marker on the inside. So with the left wheel, try and get that one. Yes, perfect. Very good. Here we go, so easy over the top. That's it, and then you've got a marker on the left here.
Yeah.
That's it, so accelerate a little bit. That's it, and then off a little bit slow around these ones. You don't want to go over the top, so bring the left wheel up.
Yeah.
That's it. And then that way. Perfect, very good.
What's all that rat-a-tat-tat stuff?
No, I think there might be fireworks that we've got underneath the car stuck. Watch the pheasant here. So hit one in the middle. And round to the left. God, I think that firework didn't come through my window then. Okay, so remember, through the middle here, through the deer.
Sorry.
That was perfect. I get ready with the stopwatch. Stop. Very good. Look at that action slide over the finish line.
Oh man! To go. Yeah! That was amazing.
Here we go then. That's Marc Gené, Van Gutierrez in the 2017 Mercedes. He went very quickly in the shootout yesterday, didn't he? Qualifying in that car.
Yeah. And one other thing that we touched on over the course of earlier demonstrations was how not only have the shapes of the cars changed, and to a degree that's inevitable because everybody feeds data into a wind tunnel and it will spit out the same result. The Maserati 250F, going back to the 1950s of Formula One, where it was a very different era. We are set to go racing. 20 minutes for part 2 of the St Mary's Trophy. The flag to fall, which it will do. Now we're racing. Who makes the best stop? On the outside it's Mike Jordan, but look right because that's Oliver Taylor squeezing by. Unleashes all of the horses. Here he comes, and he just strolls on by. Gets past Tim Lazell. Jonathan Lewis watches this battleship go past him. And this is a real attack for the race leaders. The two of them slide their way through St Mary's. Here comes Wilmot then in the white and gold Studebaker. He's on the outside line for Lavant. He's got his nose in front. They touch. There's a lock-up. They're going to touch again. No, not quite. Bill Shepherd goes back through. They're going to be side by side, and Wilmot goes through. Yes, he's done it. Great racing.
Absolutely cracking stuff.
So this is torn off in the traffic, and the Jaguar locks up and rotates, and that forces torn off onto the grass. In fact, it was Nigel Webb's Jaguar, apologies, that was the one that spun. Will help his chances of getting by. Mike Jordan then under attack. Is he going to finish third? Torn off wide onto the dirt there. He's closing, he's up alongside, he's on the grass as well to get past. Fantastic, Sam Tornoff does it. I am coming through, he says to It's going to be a win for Adrian Wilmot, who comes towards the timing line. He takes the checkered flag to win a really lively race.
Right, this is starting to feel like an absolute stitch-up. They said to me, come to the woods, wear a harness, and bring ear defenders.
How are you?
I'm very well, that was quite the entrance.
Yeah, it's beats walking.
It was like seeing a real-life superhero. I feel like I'm in some sort of Marvel movie. The thing that I'm terrified about is I have a feeling I'm supposed to be learning this.
Yes, this is where we're standing here. This is our training rig. We've taught about 70 people to fly, and often it takes only a morning's practice to kind of get your brain to dial into that kind of balance, believe it or not.
Oh, it's so heavy. Ah! Oh! Whew! That was insane. I can't really, it's so hard to explain and describe it, but it is the closest thing to feeling like a superhero. And you know that if you had you just want longer now to get good, because obviously I wasn't the smoothest at times.
The driver's sitting up high, no seat belts, no roll cages, just all about bravery. This is away they go. You're on board with Duncan Pittaway here as they head down towards Madgwick for the first time. Sam Hancock, this is quite a sight. And Majube goes wide there. Finds the grass on the outside of the road and place change there. Look, Ben, as through on the inside line into the race lead goes Julian Majube. As Huey Walker got a problem and he pulls to the outside, looks across, I think it's just lack of horsepower. Here's the 200 horsepower of the Darragh unleashed on Mark Walker, zaps straight through from third to first. Pumping watts there, try and get a bit more power. Well, Julian Majube goes through. Bit of fuel in that. So struggling for fuel now, so can he attack once more? There is one more lap to run at the end of this, and look at Huey Walker closing, diving past into the lead. Fantastic. Huey Walker, he'll be starting the last lap at the end of this. He was the driver that finished in third spot in part one.
Can he gather enough of a cushion through the next 2 or 3 turns and hold on to it as we just see yet more pumping?
We're heading down towards Woodcote. There they are through the traffic, and it's going to be Mark Walker that goes back into the race lead.
Julian Majube just taking an ever so slightly defensive line into the chicane. Will that keep second place in the bag for him? Has he got the grunt? No, he doesn't.
It's a race win though for Huey Walker in another very entertaining SFH trophy. The so-called Batmobile BMW, the 3-litre CSL, heads towards the timing line. Tom Christensen with the Porsche WSC 95. Oh, wow! Big slide. Can he save it? It's on the grass. It bounces. It slides again. It's still in the right direction, just about. The multiple Trans Am winning Ford Mustang, the ex-Tommy Kendall car that Ollie Bryant has. James Cottingham will drive in the Dallara. Brett Thornton, by the way, has been really good in the first sector there. He is. Now this is Harry King, he's up the curb here as he presses on. Tom Christensen is back out again, this time in Audi's latest R8 GT2. Nick Padmore, yesterday he did a 69.9. It's not going to be a 9, I don't think. Let's see, he's up towards the line. It's in the 10s, the 11s, 12s at 112.503. The Gerry Marshall Sprint, it is a race for Group 1 saloons of a type that raced between 1970 and 1982. Nick Jarvis Rover there that gets a real tax slapper going into Madgwick corner for the first time. Well, off the road goes Padmore. Also off the road goes one of the Camaros there, you'll see. Over goes the Mini, that I'm afraid is Jason Brooks. It got sideways, it bounces, and it's ended up upside down, and that's a real shame because it's going to be an interruption to the race. So the flag falls now, and away they go with a good start made this time by Gregor Marshall.
Davis goes up the inside into Madgwick. Can he hold on to it? The car runs wide between the two apexes. He does. He closes the door as they exit the corner. Will he try and, yes, go around the outside in the braking area? Huge look-up using the escape area. Luckily it's tarmac, not gravel, but now he's on the grass. Can he hold it together? Yes, he can. Cracking stuff from Orlando Lindsay. Look, this has to half go defensive on the inside into LAVANT. On the other hand, he was having a look at the leader. Not particularly healthy, but certainly has the legs of the car. There you go. That's what I was worried about, because that is a big piece of bodywork.
Davis covers the inside line. Jack Tetley will have one more chance on the run to the flag. If he can surge up alongside, he's going to try to do it. Here they come, checkered flag at the ready. It's going to be almost side by side between the two of them, but Craig Davis hangs on to win a great battle. In the Gerry Marshall sprint, Craig Davis wins by 0.217 of a second.
Driftkhana is about to kick off, and right on cue we have the Ford Mustang Mach-E 1400 going crazy. Becky, for those that don't know, what exactly is Driftkhana?
Well, Driftkhana is an all-new segment for Goodwood SpeedWeek. As you can see behind us, it's all about fun. Now, normally we'd have so many spectators here, they'd be walking all over the pristine lawns, but now we've got Driftkhana because we can now use that space to have some fun on the motor circuit. Now, all I want you to remember is the 3 S's: speed, style, and sensors. So obviously this is how our competitors are going to be marked. We have speed, you're going to have to get from start to finish as quick as you can. We have style, you're going to be marked on your style. If you're more flamboyant, you're more precise, then you're going to get time taken off. But if you don't get your sensors, you're going to get time added on. So you might not be the fastest competitor, but you'll definitely be able to win.
Getting Junior. Now this looks a little bit more controlled than what it did yesterday. Makes his way around the barrels, nice flick through. It's up 20-inch wheels on the back of this GTR. Pokes out the pit lane, blows up the hay bales and that tight gate. Now, oh, gets it too close, gets the front bumper caught under the front wheels. Now, will he continue? He does, the front headlight. I'm going to tell you now, if this is for the show, George Barkley gets it wrong and parks himself onto the drums. Reshapes as he flicks that car through the circuit. He goes for a 360, reshapes. Absolutely flying and on 4 and the lights flicker as reshapes. Oh, hits the bale. James of the Machine Dean almost catches that front bumper, makes his way now into the wall ride. Very nicely done from Dean. He rearranges the wall though, and incredible stuff. A 57.464.
This is the TWR Jaguar era that we are celebrating this weekend at Goodwood. They're the XJR12. Now this was for the IMSA series. So there you've got the James Cottingham Tajero Jaguar lined up at the front. There is the flag, and the LAVANT Cup is go. Who makes the best start? It is Ben Adams, who gets away nicely from the outside of the front row. Look at Ben Adams cheekily trying to come back around the outside of James Cottingham as they come out of Madgwick Corner. Here, look, the power of the big Jaguars versus the Lola, which is great under braking. Ben Adams lost the place, maybe 2, but he's got them both back because he brakes ludicrously late coming into the corner. Somebody all over the grass there, getting it wrong, coming into the chicane. That D-type not quite seemingly quick enough in a straight line. Phil Quaife is quick enough though, and he goes through on the inside, picks up a place, then goes by, and that gives him 4th. But Marino Franchitti is way out in front now, 3.5 seconds plus. So can Marino Franchitti fend off the charging Cottingham behind? Out of the chicane they come. Lots of traffic ahead. He's got no time to admire the machinery though. The HWM Jaguar there, the ex-Duncan Hamilton car just ahead of him in the hand. But Marino Franchitti powers across the line, takes the checkered flag, and Marino Franchitti wins the LAVANT Cup for the 1952 to 1960 sports racing cars.
And here he is, Marino Franchitti, victorious in the LAVANT Cup. It looks like it means a lot to you.
It really does. I've been coming to Goodwood since 2005. I've never won a race here, and it's always one of those things I sort of didn't want to talk about, but really something I really wanted badly. You know, we haven't run the birdcage for a few years. It's generally been outpaced by some of the bigger cars, so I think we knew we had an opportunity this year. The guys at 1010s prepped it beautifully, and it was just, it just means a lot. I wish my family was here. You know, Holly and Luke are watching at home. This one's definitely for Nick, who owns the car, my father-in-law, who, you know, is one in the car himself, and to finally get that is special.
Dario Franchitti gets away with lots of wheel spin then in the Brooklyn Ford liveried Ford Sierra. You're back to 1989 into the chicane, so this is going to be good for Richard Westbrook. He's on the power.
Through these corners where he will feel the benefit of that downforce.
There is a problem for the Lotus. He's going to get it to the line, but yeah, a shake of the head of all the times to have a gremlin. Morgetting Jr. gets it as sideways as possible. Brilliant control into the chicane. Fantastic stuff. So here he comes with the back over the curb and the dirt being kicked into the air. He fights the car into the chicane. He's not going to be the fastest. This is the man that he has the Goodwood lap record.
Sparks flying from the under tray.
Is he going to be the quickest ever lap? 68, 69.973. Not quite as quick as he went yesterday. So there is the EINRIDE, this amazing heavy-duty autonomous electric truck. doing its lap of Goodwood.
By the way, that's reasonably quick.
It is, isn't it?
Oh, it made mincemeat of it.
We can have a look at BMWs through the ages.
And I think this car, the V12 LMR, is one of my all-time favourite race cars ever. Stunning open-top prototypes.
Yes, 1999, that BMW won Le Mans.
It's when we see these cars now and you see that huge front grille, that all of the modern BMW styling starts to make sense. You realise there's context, history and tradition to it.
It's going to be good. The last race of Goodwood SpeedWeek, presented by Mastercard, is the Royal Automobile Club TT celebration. The flag falls now. Who makes the best start? Charging up on the inside, there goes Craig Davis to try to gain ground. The Chevrolets, the leaders, are going to be side by side, and here comes Mike Whittaker into the mix as well.
And Whittaker hoping that he can follow Malassian through, and he does.
Stick Blomqvist goes round the outside and runs out of road and hooks a wheel onto the grass, and not even the 1984 World Rally champion can save that. That's a big hit and a big, big spin. Lights out, we're going to go racing then, and then he will accelerate away as he comes through the chicane. Now back onto the path. Adrian Wilmot coming under attack from Andrew Smith on the inside line there. Smith, number one, gets up the inside. Is he going to go through? Yes, he is. That was brave stuff. Now, this is what happened to the wall, and it is the Craig Davis, Jason Plato Corvette that nicked the wall.
Mike Jordan's going to have to go defensive. He doesn't do it. He needed to go earlier to the right to close the door on Lotterer. I wonder if he realised that that was a fight for position. Remember, this is his outlap from the pits.
That's the leading battle. Ollie Grant versus Andre Lotterer. This is for the lead change. Andre Lotterer lines up on the inside line. Ollie Bryant gives him room because he knows that that car is coming through. Lotterer at the top of his game. Jordan to the inside. Is this the move? Yes, yes, yes. He's done it at last. Through he goes. Mike Jordan goes through into second place. So that's the race leader. And he's all on his own. Andre Lotterer, he's mighty impressive in this car. He's taken to it like a duck to water. Well, that was Phil Keane, wasn't it, coming by? Oh. So there's the contact, puts the Sierra Buick off the road. Wiper pops up, and the round spins.
That's Damien Faulkner at the wheel there. They obviously just had some confusion, both hugely experienced, capable drivers. So just a little drift, keeping it quite tidy, actually. I would say that is less of a historic racing driver's style, and he has to take avoiding action. He was a little bit overzealous into the chicane.
The checkered flag is at the ready. The car that started on pole position was started by its owner, Fred Wakeman, and Fred Wakeman, with the help of Andre Lotterer, will win the RAC TT celebration at the end of just over an hour of great GT action.
Andre, first of all, congratulations, that was incredible.
Yeah, second in a row, I can't believe it, so I love this race, it's good for me. No, I had a lot of fun, Fred did a good job, and then we had the safety car, so the gap wasn't too big. And then, yeah, just was out there enjoying myself, and we had good speed with this car, and yeah, really loving Goodwood.
Close call at the chicane, though?
Yeah, suddenly I had to avoid a car that almost stopped, so I thought the safest way was to go straight, and I slowed down a bit to not get too much advantage, and thought that was the best. I hope I don't get any penalty, but it should be fine.
How would you sum up your Goodwood SpeedWeek?
Goodwood is paradise, you know, to come here and race with these cars on this track. It's a fantastic place, and yeah, thanks to organizing it, and that we can be here and play and put on a good show.
Thank you so much. Fred, we've got to have a quick word with you. What's it like being teammates with Andre?
Well, it's easy being teammates with Andre. He drove another unbelievable TT. This car has been here many, many times, and it's never achieved a first place. So only Andre can deliver that.
Congratulations.
It's gonna be worth more money now.